I grew up among the ruins of post-war Japan, in alleys where only the desperate survived. My childhood world was nothing but empty shop fronts and blackout tunnels. But that's where I met the people who became my new family. The clan elder, the man I call father, took me in when I was 8, after I lost everything. I gave him my word and my life. He taught me his own kind of honor. We protect the weak, and we strike the strong. I chose my family among this brotherhood of shadows, and they became my blood. Under their wing, I learned to fight, to read faces, and to understand that the world of ordinary men is dangerous and cruel. I was 15 when I was initiated. The crimson carp inked across my back, my first mark carved deep into skin, and my fingers pressed to the spot where one day I'd lose a piece of myself, if duty demanded it. My father lowered his gaze, and I stepped into the script life had written for me. Even when my body was covered in scars and dragons coiled across my skin, a living map of every day spent on the edge, I never regretted the path I chose. That path gave me a name, a purpose, and a code. I followed it until I lost too many friends and parts of myself along the way. I watched the cities change, from muddy post-war markets to neon-lit streets of modern Tokyo. In the 1960s, we ruled from the shadows behind politics, docks, and gambling dens. Now, older but still in the game, I sit at a wooden table lit by a single lamp. The years have passed, but the code still weighs on me like the dust of graves. That's what made me who I am. And this morning, like every morning, everything can change again. The first sunlight cuts through my tiny apartment on the city's edge. The air smells like tobacco and rusted concrete, the scent of old neighborhoods. I rise slowly, hearing the distant hum of the city waking up, the tram's bell, the crows, the low drone of cars. My head feels heavy, like I'm still coming down from last night. On the table, a half-empty cup of cold coffee. I finish it, the bitterness snapping my mind awake. I pull on my long coat, brush off the dust, and feel the grip of my old pistol in its holster. The metal is still warm from my hand, my first companion, my constant shadow. I catch my reflection in the cracked mirror, aging skin, tired dark eyes, a finger missing a joint, the price of my first mistake. The room smells of damp paper, stacks of faded calendars and yellowed newspapers lie in the corner. The headlines scream about new business scandals in downtown Tokyo, but today I don't care about politics. I close my eyes for a second, hearing the voice of the man who once said, "A child doesn't choose his parents, but he chooses his family." I chose this life myself, and every sunrise reminds me there's no way back. A cool breeze drifts through the half-open window, carrying the scent of grilled fish and morning rice from the market below. Shadows dance across the wall. It's not a shrine, but I bow anyway, not to any god, but to a memory that's kept me alive. Doubt has no place in this life. The ritual ends with the sharp ring of the telephone. I pick it up. The voice of my boss, calm, deadly serious, cuts through the static. "There's work today," he says, then gives me the details. A stubborn debtor somewhere beyond the city. It's a test, like every job. My hand tightens around the holster. I answer evenly. Understood. If all goes right, my wallet will be heavier by sunset. I dress carefully, dark navy suit, crisp white shirt, not fashion, just respect. Underneath, a knife scar runs across my ribs, a reminder of what's allowed and what's not. I pause at the doorway, staring at the city skyline, painted in pink and gold by the rising sun. Down below, chaos. Up above, peace. The space between is where I live. I slide into my old Toyota, the engine growling awake. The streets are almost empty. On the radio, a soft guitar melody counts down another day. My boss's voice still echoes in my head. "You'll meet Sato at the port." I check the rounds in my gun. Whatever happens, I'll handle it. The port at dawn looks dead. Rows of containers, fish stalls, silent warehouses. Perfect place for business. I pull up to a concrete hangar reeking of salt and diesel. Thick steel doors. Inside, nothing but echoes. Sato's already there. 70, bent-backed, wrinkles carved deep. In the shadows, my partner Wada waits. We greet each other like old friends, but tension hums in the air. Sato owes a large debt for the protection of his last shipment, and the boss promised this would be a pleasant morning. I study him. Today, he looks like a man who's run out of luck. We sit at a rough wooden table. Ueda pours whiskey from a silver flask. Sato's voice trembles. Please, Sensei, I had no choice. My wife's sick, the kids, school fees. His hands shake, his eyes wet. I speak softly, but my words hit harder than a bullet. We protect the weak, Sato, but debts, they're sacred. Finally, he hands me an envelope, thick with cash. His fingers tremble, his lips whisper something like a prayer. I nod. All right, you're clean. Come back next month as family. His thank you fades into the sound of the sea. But something's wrong. Around the corner, an engine starts, then stops. My gut tightens. I turn, and the world explodes. Bullets tear into the walls, smoke fills the air. It's an ambush. I dive behind a crate. Concrete shatters above my head. The gunfire is deafening. Through the haze, I spot one of them. A face I know, Kobayashi. We grew up together, our eyes lock for half a second. Shock, guilt, recognition. Hey, Masa, he starts, but the words die in his throat. I shoot first. Reflex. The bullet hits. He stumbles, drops his gun, and falls to his knees. Time freezes. The smoke swirls between us. His eyes, wide and bleeding, find mine. Why? He croaks. I step closer, kneel beside him. Because you chose this, same as me. He tries to speak again, but only air comes out. I slip a folded bill, my cut from Sato, into his palm. For the journey, I whisper. Then I stand. The street is empty. The sirens wail in the distance. I drive until the city lights fade. My shoulder burns, blood soaking through the fabric, but I keep going. One hand on the wheel, one on the wound. I reach our safe house at the edge of town. Ueda opens the door, pale and wordless. He sees my arm and sighs. You're alive. I bow slightly. Silence says the rest. He helps me take off my jacket, cleans the wound. The only sound is the dripping tap. The smell of boiling tea fills the room. On the table, the envelope from Sato, now smudged with blood. Ueda doesn't ask what happened. He already knows. My mind drifts. The dusty roads of Kansai, laughter in a smoky bar, the flash of a blade at dawn. I sip the tea, bitter, grounding. My teacher's words echo back. None of us are eternal. Every day is a spin of the wheel. You never know when it stops. Outside, the sirens fade. Inside, only the soft hum of the old record player. Smoke curls into the dim light, like the ghosts of those who didn't make it back. I light another cigarette. Maybe my last. Maybe not. The morning is bright again, but I face it differently now. The sun glints off the skyscrapers, and I walk among the crowds, just another face in Tokyo. I like this dawn, no matter how heavy it feels. Every sunrise means I'm still here, another day bought with another fight. That's our curse, to live without choice. We carry the scars of the past in our hearts, and blame only ourselves for walking this road. But there's a strange honor in it. Every dawn is worth more because it might be the last. Today I survived. Tomorrow, maybe my brothers will too. And if I've learned one rule worth keeping, it's this. Remember your past, but don't let it die with you. My day is over. Somewhere beyond the skyline, another dawn is ringing its bell. I stop, close my eyes, breathe in the morning air, and whisper to myself, life's a dark beauty, and she's worth fighting for, every damn day.